Hello and welcome to Bonsai Therapy. Today is your birthday. And because today is your birthday, your auntie Juniper gave you a present. She gave you a juniper tree. You are all excited because, it's a tree. It's not like Rex, and Juniper's dog, and that you have to walk and you have to feed like all the time and you have to, take care of and pick his poop and all that stuff. So, yeah, Juniper tree could be a good thing. So, we're all excited. It's like a bonsai tree, and we always loved little bonsai trees. We like them because they're small and they're easy to take care of. You just put them on your coffee table and they're going to be just fine as it is. Problem is, Juniper just gave you like a box store Juniper tree, but they're not that cool because they come up with lots of issues. And the other thing is that you don't have any idea how to take care of a bonsai. So the first thing you do is just look at the thing. You kind of love it. It's a nice little tree. It's a juniper, for God's sake. So nothing can go wrong with it. It's going to sit on your coffee table. It's going to give it a nice touch. Everybody's going to like it when they come to your house and they see the little tree there, and everybody's going to love it. Now, you don't have a clue how to take care of a juniper. You think it's okay to just leave it there, give it water like once in a while. It's going to be nice inside the house, so, what can go wrong? But a couple of weeks later, your juniper seems to be like really sick. So the first thing you should do with your juniper tree would be giving it a little water, but the soil is so caked because they just came up on those plastic pots that you buy in box stores, and the tree is actually with some glue, little stones on top, so the water really doesn't get in. But hey, if it came from a shop, it should be okay, even if it's getting brown and everything. You think nothing should go wrong with your tree because your wife has tulips in a little pot, and he has like some sort of like herby plant that's been sitting in there like for a year or two, and you don't even remember watering. Maybe she does that while you are asleep. Soon you actually realize that those trees are kind of like plastic trees. They're fake. You touch them, but they look so good that nobody would have any idea that they're not real. But the thing is, your juniper tree is very real and it's dying. So what are you going to do? You're going to try to remove all that caked stone on top of the soil so you can actually see some soil underneath all that armor thing on top of it. So let's face it, you have to do it. Just start removing all that glued stone and all that stuff on top of your soil, and you give the tree a good watering. But the thing is, at this point, the tree is starting to get some crazy webs all over it. The tree is sick, they're like spider mites all over. So your tree, it's gone, it's dead. This is a really sad story when people get on their birthdays trees from Auntie Juniper, and usually they don't have any idea how to deal with those trees. Like the first thing you should do is like check the soil on the tree, remove everything on top of it that doesn't seem right. But there's another thing, you don't have any idea what kind of soil you're going to put on your tree. Now this it's a different story because different climates, different soils. One thing I would suggest when you get a new tree, just go on the internet, read something about it, check some websites, check some YouTube channels. Probably you will learn a lot. Then another thing, when you get a new tree, you want to work on the tree. So you go and you start trimming the tree. You cut here, you cut there, and you cut everywhere. It's not a good thing. Just let the tree stay there for a little bit. And if it's summer, leave it outside. Let the tree get a lot of sun and a lot of water, because the sun or water, that's what the trees want, and it's what the trees like. Once you solve the problem of the soil, because you know what, that's not that difficult, and with a little reading and a little following the right information, you actually can get a end of it, like with no issues. For the watering, well, the bonsai pots usually have holes, so there's no problem like over watering your trees. Just give them a lot of water, because you're going to see that water coming out of the holes if your soil is the right one, and if your drainage is right. That soil it's going to be fine for your tree. There are lots of things you can do with your soil. There's perlite, there's potting soil, there's macadamia, there's lava rock, there's granite, like all the stuff, like little stones. You just have to make sure that when you water your tree, the water is coming out, so the drainage is right. You don't want water to stay on your pot, and all that humidity, extra, like too much humidity, it's going to kill your roots. But as long as the water is coming out, um, you should be fine. Your tree should be outside in the summertime when the climate and the weather allows it. Keep your tree as long as possible in the sun so that the tree can grow. Sun and water, that's what the tree needs. As soon as you solve the problem of your soil, the drainage and the water retention and all that stuff, these are all the words and the terms that might get you a little off track, and you might think that it's too complicated, but it's really not. The other day, I kind of potted a tree on a deep pot. The thing is, I have to just pay a little more attention to the tree, see if the humidity, if the tree is humid, if all that water kind of went all the way, and if the tree got a little drier. It's not a problem if your tree gets dry for a day. It's not going to die. Sometimes it's better to let the tree dry a little bit than to just keep pouring water when there's not enough drainage, or when the soil takes a little longer to get rid of that water in a way. If you get some information as soon as you get your tree, your juniper in this case, the example, if you get enough information, you will do well. You know, it's like there's books. If you don't have money to buy books, and if you have internet, go on the internet, check that stuff out. Lose a few hours to learn a little bit about that tree, because there's a good chance that's the only tree that you have. So you have time to learn, and meanwhile get that juniper outside. Don't keep that juniper inside, please, because that juniper is going to die. You know, trees like to be outside. They like to get fresh air. They got to like get sun, and they like to get water. If it rains, it's freaking awesome. Natural water. It's like you're not using like your tap water. But if you have to use your tap water, it's water. It's not gonna kill your tree. If you have to keep your trees inside during the winter, just keep them like close to a window where they get lots of sun. It doesn't really have to be like all day, but just like a part of the day, the most part of the day when they get the sun. In my house, I have one window, and then sometimes I move my trees to I have a double door that leads outside. I just put some shares in there. I put the trees on top of the shares so they can get that extra sun from their window, and then when that sun on their window goes away, I just pick them up and take them again to the window so they can get some extra stuff, because the sun kind of rotates like a normal movement of the sun, and sometimes one side has sun, the other side doesn't have. It's a good thing that I don't have lots of trees, indoor trees. So it's cool. Another thing that you should do if you live in of course you live in a certain area, the trees that you should pick up are the native trees. You have a better chance of like keeping those trees alive. That's if they're native to your climate and they're used to it. So most of the time it's just keep them outside all year, and give them a little more protection in the winter. But usually they can stay outside, because if they're native to your environment, they should be fine. So anyway, thank Auntie Juniper for the tree. It's not her fault. She only had good intentions, and she wanted to give you a present. So if the tree ended up dying, you can come up with a ton of excuses. You can tell that Rex did something that it shouldn't have done, and you get away with it. Stay sharp. Have a good day. Enjoy.